This is the Bitterroot Range of the Rocky Mountains, Idaho and Montana, America. This is the Clearwater National Forest on the Bitterroot. It belongs to you. This is the wild and scenic Laxaw River, fast, cold, and clean. It belongs to you. This is Lola Pass. Lewis and Clark struggled to cross it to the Pacific. It belongs to you. This is the Rocky Mountain front of the Bob Marshall Wilderness. It belongs to you. They all belong to you because you're an American. This is the Alberta Tar Sands Complex. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to Exxon. It's the biggest, dirtiest, most ecologically destructive oil extraction operation on Earth. It has turned hundreds of square miles of northern Alberta into a raped and stinking tar pit. It siphons billions of gallons of pure Athabasca River water and turns it to toxic sludge. It feeds a 50-square-mile poisonous, carcinogenic lake in which nothing can live. It's a hideous, filthy moonscape of industrial junk and garbage in a pristine wilderness. It is the single most gargantuan source of climate-changing CO2 in North America. Its black, monstrous scar can be easily identified from space. It belongs to Exxon. This is a piece of equipment Exxon needs to process their dirty tar sands oil. It's 30 feet in diameter, it's as long as a basketball court, and it weighs 600,000 pounds. Canadian labor could make them, but they buy them cheap, non-union, in Korea. Then they ship them by sea, but not to Canada, to Lewiston, Idaho. Why? Because Canada has rules and regulations. Exxon needs roads they can use as they please, and they got them, from the governors of Idaho and Montana. Exxon plans to run hundreds of monster loads through the Clearwater Forest, along the wild and scenic Laxaw River, over Lola Pass, and up along the Rocky Mountain front. How is that possible? Because corrupt U.S. politicians will do anything big oil asks. If you haven't been in a coma for a decade, you know that our phony democracy is a sick joke. Elections run on money, and money is free speech. The Supreme Court just said so. Big money buys and elects its flunkies, and they do as they're told. Citizens will sue to stop Exxon, but Idaho and Montana will fight them. The governors there talk big money, many jobs, great benefits. The reality is the money is chump change. The jobs are few, and the benefits are non-existent. Exxon will abuse these roads, forests, mountains, and rivers as they please. Exxon will treat Idaho and Montana the way big oil always treats third world countries. So what is all this to you? Why should you care? We'll start with the world you live in. This deal is an insult to that world. It's converting a two-lane road along the wild and scenic Laxaw River and up the wild Rocky Mountain front into an industrial high-wide corridor. Exxon says there's no risk. BP said that in the Gulf. Lying is how they do business. But maybe the Laxaw and the Rocky Mountain front's wilderness don't matter to you. Then what about American states helping promote the dirtiest oil extraction in the world? But maybe you don't care about dirty oil extraction or destruction of a natural ecosystem. What about states assisting the biggest contributor to rapid climate change on the planet? Maybe you don't care about CO2 pollution. Maybe you don't believe in global warming. And how about state officials making sweetheart deals on corporate use of public property? Maybe it doesn't gripe you that a governor can let a corporation use property you pay taxes on. Maybe all of that somehow just doesn't trouble you. Well, if not, you better ask yourself what the hell would trouble you. Just how much arrogant contempt for you and your world would it take to make you fight back? Exxon, the biggest oil corporation in the world, rips off a record $40 billion in profits in a depression, while millions of Americans are losing jobs and homes. How is it that these pirates can run roughshod over us and do whatever they want in this country? Our bullshit democracy is run for the corporate tyranny that owns America. And if you don't know that, it's because you've been conned about everything that matters in your life. Lousy health care, insane taxation, industrial welfare, agricultural scams, criminal banking, energy profiteering, crooked law, sold-out justice, and rotten foreign policy. All of it. We're routinely lied to, deceived, screwed, and cheated in every aspect of our lives, and yet most of us just don't get it. That's what gotten us where we are today. Not knowing what's real has made us a nation of serfs who meekly take whatever the corporate tyranny dishes out. and that's why Exxon thinks it can do whatever it wants. But there is another way. There's nothing inevitable about slavery. The system counts on you to believe that you're powerless, but nobody is enslaved until he or she buys into it. The first step is knowledge. The second is resistance. Resistance is still possible in this police state, but no one can say for how long. To block Exxon in this deal is to start breaking chains. This Exxon tar sands obscenity is a prime example of all that is tyrannical and evil in our sick, dead system. Join us. Fight the power. If not for the land, for the water, and the world you live in, then for yourself. Because this is the first battle in the fight to free us all.
Oh, take this land, cause I can't use it anymore. It's getting dark, too dark to see. I feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
Oh Canada, keep your dirty